our animal shelters.
Good evening, I'm Grace Fernandez. Thanks for joining us. When we think back to those snowy winter days central New York brings us, it's hard to believe it's already summer, and the city of Utica is wasting no time. Eyewitness News anchor Angie Pavlovsky is live downtown with a look at Summerfest. Angie.
Hey Grace, we're taking advantage of this beautiful weather, and apparently so is a lot of the Mohawk Valley. We have some pretty big crowds out here already gathering for this 3-day event. Now, some are actually hanging out shopping with the local vendors, while others are taking a chance to get a look at some of that live music and, of course, get a taste of some of the best food that Utica does have to offer. Now, for those who are having kind of a deja vu moment, well, Summerfest is actually crafted after a previous Utica event, the good old Summertime Festival. Yes, sure, I'm ringing a lot of bells there. That event has a couple similarities, but also a couple differences from the event we're seeing today. We're going to catch up with the event coordinator and see what some of those are in just a little bit. For now, Grace, we'll send it back up to the studio with you.
Thank you, Angie, and we'll check back in with you in just a little bit. With today being the first day of summer, we'll be seeing even warmer weather on its way. But for some people, extreme heat may lead to health issues. Eyewitness News reporter Marley Tuskus explains.
Earlier this week, we saw temperatures hit 90 degrees here in the Mohawk Valley. And for some people, that may be perfect weather. But for others, that could be too much to handle.
Our bodies regulate our temperature automatically, so when the temperature gets extremely hot, our bodies are unable to sweat. We might get dehydrated, so we can't cool down our body temperature, which then becomes dangerous.
For young children, elderly people, and those with chronic illness, the heat can be even harder, which is why Oneida County Health Director Phyllis Ellis says it's about monitoring how you feel when you're outside.
You've got to really be careful that you're hydrated and make sure that you drink throughout the day before you're thirsty. So once you start feeling thirsty, then you're at danger of being dehydrated.
But for some people, they can't avoid the outdoors.
The other type of person that is really at danger for heat stroke are those people that work outdoors. So they may work outdoors whether it's really hot or not, and they have to make sure they're hydrated, take frequent breaks, get out of the sun as much as they can. If possible, if you could not be out in the prime time, like noon, 11 to 2, where the sun is at its peak, that's best if you could arrange your outdoor activities around that time frame.
Ellis says it's also important to know when it's time to seek treatment.
If you have the headache, nausea, dizziness, really call 911 and get somewhere where they can monitor your body core temperature and get it down for you.
For anyone who may not have air conditioning in their homes or are just looking for a cold place to hang out this summer, the state has designated several cooling centers across the county. Reporting, Marley Tuskus, Eyewitness News.
4 members of the Utica Fire Department were promoted today. The ceremony took place at the council chambers in City Hall. Mayor Robert Palmieri says this is a great opportunity for the fire department.
Chief Ingersoll, Deputy Chief Ambrose, Myers, Dominic Myers for captain, Master Vito for lieutenant, and also Stemmer for lieutenant. So you had a plethora of veterans that were in there with a lot of experience that hopefully, as I indicated, we're going to bring us to the next level.
Friends and family members of the firefighters were present for the ceremony. Also in attendance today, James Barefoot, who has accepted the position of temporary fire chief. As a retired UFD firefighter, Barefoot says he believes the Utica Fire Department is among the best and wants to help restore the public's faith in the department.
My life is turned on its ear in 1 week's time. This all started last Wednesday. And yeah, I'm excited to move forward with it and see where it goes. I hope with all of my heart that I make a positive impact. I've given many years to the fire department. I do truly love it. I love all the members of the department, and I want to help. You know, I want to be a positive impact.
Barefoot will begin his new position on July 2nd. Many local shelters are starting to see an increase of animals, and the cause of this may have something to do with your home insurance. Eyewitness News reporter Julie LeBlanc has a story.
Here at the Humane Society of Rome, there are a lot of dogs like Trace, and it has a lot to do with weight restrictions and homeowners insurance.
I'm going to take this. Oh, it's mine. Okay. People want to move or buy a home, and then they find out that insurance won't cover them.
Helen Rudiak says the same goes for apartments, where landlords will not allow certain pets based on insurance restrictions.
A lot of times that's what happens with our animals, is that they've had an animal for years, and if they have to move, they have to give them up because they have no place to live then.
It happened to Trace, who's been at the shelter for a few months. His family was growing and had to leave him behind. But it's not just pit bulls that are affected.
There's Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Chow Chows. You know, there's aggressive, so-called aggressive breeds that the insurance companies have labeled that will not insure a home.
They're rating it on basically the size of the dog and the amount of damage that it will inflict in the event of even a minor bite.
Gelati says they'll also look at bite history, but that's not to say you can't get homeowners insurance because you have a specific breed of dog. Some companies allow it, while others just exclude coverage for your pet.
So basically what would happen is if my dog were to bite somebody, I would be financially responsible for whatever damages arose from the bite.
Still, no matter the bite or the dog, Rudiak says it all comes down to the owner.
Any dog can be trained to be a good dog or a bad dog. And I don't think there's anything such thing as a bad dog, just bad owners.
Now, Trace is available for adoption, and if you'd like to bring him home, you can call the Humane Society. Here in Rome, Julia LeBlanc, Eyewitness News.
11,000 meals were packed today at a United Way Day of Service event, and that's just in 1 hour. Eyewitness News reporter Ben Dennis highlights the organization and all it does for the community.
Donating food to families. It's only one effort of the Greater Utica chapter of the United Way. And the nonprofit redistributes funds across the Mohawk Valley region, expanding beyond the pantries of those in need.
And right now what we are doing is packing 30,000 meals to be distributed in Oneida and Herkimer County to families in need.
Over 100 volunteers assisted the day of action, happening in part by the change some families see when subsidized school lunches aren't available in the summer.
We raise money to put back into the community by funding agencies that support the folks in our local communities.
Fundraising, Matt says, will hopefully reach a $2 million goal, in part so that agencies like Safe Schools Mohawk Valley can provide a safe space for kids to go.
A lot of what we do is mentoring. We might do mediation between students that are just struggling. We have staff that go into schools and help with the social emotional learning.
And outside of that educational setting, Safe Schools Mohawk Valley CEO Ann Lansing says United Way's partnership has funded 2 programs this year, totaling $35,000. Just under half of that money going to the after-school and summer programs at the Utica Parkway Rec Center.
We help 1 in 4 people in Oneida and Herkimer County.
And through increasing needs, United Way says the agency is aided by federal and state funding after the nonprofit started providing direct services like Ready for Kindergarten and a tax prep initiative. Reporting in Mohawk, I'm Ben Dennis, Eyewitness News.
A stamp of approval from the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs at Utica College. The college's Department of Business and Economics received the nod for meeting high academic standards in program areas including sports management, finance, and accounting. Administration says checks and balances will continue to be in check in order to maintain the distinction.
It asks us to look at not only the programs that we deliver, but also the support structures that we have, the leadership, the strategic planning, and ensure that we're continually keeping that up to date.
Grant says the college has seen an uptick in enrollment applications since receiving the certificate on June 10th. Those standards will be checked by ACBS in 5 years to review the college's improvement standards. Strawberry season is in full swing. The nice weather today bringing out many people to pick their own strawberries. Eyewitness News reporter Jamie DeLine tells us what we can expect with this year's strawberry crop.
Today marks the first official day of summer, and here in central New York, strawberry picking is already underway.
We just came to pick some strawberries. We like to make freezer jam, and I make lots of pies, so we're going to freeze them.
Strawberry picking is a family tradition for the Melishukes, and it's an activity that 2-year-old Chloe and her brother Sam enjoy. Do you like strawberry picking, Chloe?
Yep. You want one?
Sure. Thank you.
Welcome.
It is excellent for them to come and help out and work a little bit and know where strawberries come from.
Joe Giuliano, owner of Giuliano Farms in Schuyler, says this year's crop is excellent.
It's been a long time since we had a nice crop like this. We haven't had any bad storms come through. We've been watering at night when needed, and berries like it cooler and nice dry weather.
According to Giuliano, the strawberry season typically begins in mid-June and lasts until early July.
Hopefully we can get an extended season this year.
For the Melishooks, they're stocking up on the crop while the picking is good. How many sorts of strawberries do you think you guys picked today?
We picked 33.
That's plenty of strawberries for little Chloe to snack on. Reporting in Schuyler, Jamie DeLine, Eyewitness News.
Well, we now know that it's a good season for strawberries this year, but how about corn? Will it be knee-high by the 4th of July? Joe Giuliano of Giuliano's Farm says although the corn isn't ready to be harvested yet, this year's crop is already waist-high.
We're in the tossal stage right now, probably 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks for corn, and right now things look pretty nice in the fields. It's a different game this year than it was last year. Last year was tough. We had too much cold, too much rain. This year looks very nice so far, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Giuliano also says the corn is strong and looks as good as it can get. The largest graduating class of the Genesee Street Children's Center making the move from preschool to kindergarten this morning. 24 graduates accepted their diplomas and even danced after doing so, according to a representative of the